A man approaches another man's wife and informs her husband that she is pregnant with his child. The husband promptly initiates divorce proceedings on the grounds of adultery. This appears to be something from a television drama, yet it is a genuine occurrence. And the individual at the heart of this controversy is someone who has spent decades asserting to others on national television that they are insufficient. Simon Cowell has dashed the aspirations of thousands of aspiring singers. He has caused contestants to cry on stage. He has been described as ruthless, unfeeling, and the most despised individual within the entertainment industry. Nevertheless, that same individual now possesses a fortune valued at $550 million. He possesses mansions across 3 continents. His automobile collection alone exceeds the lifetime earnings of most individuals, and the woman involved in that scandal is now his wife. However, this is information that most individuals are unaware of. Prior to establishing himself as the embodiment of candidness on television, Simon Cowell was a college dropout who struggled to maintain steady employment. He experienced a significant failure in his initial business venture, resulting in its complete collapse. The sole reason he was able to enter the music industry was due to his father leveraging influence to secure him a position in a mailroom. So, how did an individual who began his career in mail sorting ascend to such influence as to establish superstars like One Direction and determine who attains fame? What does his life truly resemble beyond the cutting remarks and the expensive suits? What events transpired in his personal life that nearly undermined everything he had established? By the conclusion of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how Simon Cowell established his empire, why his $25 million Malibu residence is merely one component of his real estate portfolio, and how a man whose career involves eliciting tears from others has become a dedicated family man. This is the comprehensive account of Simon Cowell. Simon Philip Cowell was born on October 7, 1959, in Lambeth, London. His family belonged firmly to the middle class. There is nothing remarkable on the surface, but the individuals who nurtured him would sow the seeds that ultimately developed into an entertainment empire. His mother, Julie Brett, was a professional ballet dancer and a prominent socialite of her time. She contributed an artistic sensibility to the household that Simon would subsequently channel into his comprehension of performance and star appeal. His father, Eric Cowell, assumed numerous roles throughout his professional career. He was employed as a music industry executive, engaged in real estate ventures, and invested in property development. The entertainment industry was intrinsically part of Simon's heritage. The family ultimately established themselves in the tranquil village of Elstree in Hertfordshire, a stark contrast to the lively streets of London where Simon was born. He was raised alongside his younger brother Nicholas and had 3 stepbrothers and a stepsister from his father's prior relationships. It was a crowded venue, and Simon quickly understood how to distinguish himself within the crowd. His educational journey encompassed Radlett Preparatory School and subsequently Dover College, culminating at Windsor Technical College. He successfully completed his examinations in English, literature, and sociology. However, academics were never truly his forte. Simon harbored greater ambitions, even if he was not yet fully aware of their nature. Following his departure from school, Simon drifted aimlessly. He moved between minor employment opportunities, never quite establishing a stable position. His father coordinated interviews on his behalf, but Simon exhibited minimal interest and struggled to establish rapport with others. He appeared to be predestined for average achievement in music. Subsequently, everything altered when his father arranged for him to obtain a position in the mailroom at EMI Music Publishing. It was not an elegant affair. Simon dedicated his days to organizing correspondence and performing various errands. However, for the first time in his life, he found himself immersed in music, and a realization occurred. He advanced from that mailroom to become an assistant to an A&R executive by 1979. He ultimately entered the game. In 1985, Simon determined that he was prepared to assume the role of his own employer. He collaborated with a colleague named Ian Burton to establish Fanfare Records. The subsequent year, they achieved their first significant success with Simon producing a track titled So Macho, performed by American singer Sunita. For a brief moment, it appeared as though Simon had comprehended the entire situation. However, success seldom follows a direct and unambiguous trajectory. By 1989, Fanfare Records had ceased operations. The company was unable to maintain its stability, and Simon found himself back at the initial stage. He was 30 years of age. His enterprise had collapsed, leaving him with no tangible chingua from years of effort. Most individuals would have interpreted this as an indication to pursue a more secure course of action. The majority of individuals would have conceded defeat. Simon regarded it as a valuable lesson. He had not yet concluded his involvement with the music industry. The music industry was also not finished with him. BMG extended an invitation to serve as an A&R consultant. Simon acknowledged and, on this occasion, approached his work with a different perspective. He was no longer solely seeking talented vocalists. He was in search of stars. The BMG years imparted to Simon Cowell a vital insight regarding the entertainment industry. Talent is important, but how that talent is presented holds greater significance. Music. He composed music for a wide range of productions, including events for the World Wrestling Federation and the Power Rangers franchise. These projects were not particularly prestigious. However, they generated revenue and provided Simon with valuable insights into the actual preferences of audiences. His instincts proved remarkably successful in 1995 when he created a cover of Unchained Melody. The song prevailed on UK radio stations and maintained the #1 position for 7 consecutive weeks. Simon Cowell was no longer merely another music industry executive. He was an individual capable of producing hit songs. The advent of the new millennium presented an opportunity that would fundamentally alter the course of Simon's entire professional career. In 2001, he received an invitation to serve as a judge on a new British television program titled Pop Idol. The premise of the show was straightforward. Ordinary individuals would contend for a recording contract as a panel of judges assessed their performances. What was unforeseen was the manner in which Simon would undertake the role. While other judges provided encouragement and constructive feedback, Simon expressed his candid opinion without restraint. If an individual was unable to sing, he informed them. If their performance was dull, he did not feign otherwise. Audiences had previously never encountered such a spectacle on television. His distinctive phrase attained legendary status. He would frequently introduce his most severe critiques by stating that he did not intend to be rude, before presenting incisive evaluations that rendered contestants speechless. Observers found themselves unable to divert their gaze. They paid particular attention to observe what Simon would say subsequently. Whether loved or disliked, Simon Cowell elicited opinions from all. Music. However, Simon was not merely earning a salary in his role as a judge. He was engaging in a more extended strategic endeavor. Through his own enterprise, S Records, he secured contracts with both the winners and runners-up of popular idol competitions. Artists such as Gareth Gates and Will Young subsequently achieved dominance in the UK charts, and Simon benefited from both aspects of the industry. He was the judge responsible for declaring the winner and the businessman who benefited from their triumph. In 2002, American producers became aware of this development. They transported Simon across the Atlantic to serve as a judge on American Idol. His candid honesty resonated effectively with American audiences, music, who were seeking authenticity during an era dominated by Polish television personalities. Simon achieved international fame, yet he remained dissatisfied with merely serving as a judge on another individual's program. In 2002, he established Psycho Music Entertainment, a company responsible for music production, television development, and film projects. 2 years subsequently, he developed the X Factor, a talent competition format that he exclusively owned and managed. The X Factor emerged as an international sensation. It was launched in the United Kingdom, subsequently expanding to Australia, the United States, and numerous other nations. Simon enlisted celebrity judges such as Demi Lovato, Britney Spears, and Kelly Rowland. He received awards in recognition of his mentorship following his contestants' attainment of top positions. He was no longer simply identifying talent. He was generating notoriety on an industrial scale. Subsequently, America's Got Talent was introduced in 2006. This program broadened its scope beyond singers to encompass magicians, comedians, dancers, and performers of all types. It garnered an audience of over 12 million viewers and ultimately disseminated to more than 70 countries globally. Simon Cowell had established himself as the most influential talent agent in the history of entertainment. The pinnacle of Simon's talent development was showcased on the X Factor stage, Music, in 2010. Five young men who had initially auditioned as solo artists were assembled into a group and granted a second opportunity to succeed as a band. Their designation was One Direction. Under Simon's guidance, they emerged as one of the most successful boy bands in music history, with a worldwide fan base. His capacity to identify and develop talent, Music, had attained its highest expression. And all of that success was on the verge of transforming music into a lifestyle that most individuals can only aspire to attain. All of those chart-topping artists and record-breaking music television programs translated into something highly tangible for Simon Cowell: wealth, in considerable measure. His current net worth is approximately $550 million, and he allocates it with the same confidence he exhibits in his television commentary. His London residence is located in the prestigious Holland Park district, an area where even modest properties command multi-million-pound prices. Simon's estate is valued at approximately $20 million and includes amenities that are typically seen only in films. The property features a private gym for exercise without the inconvenience of public facilities, a swimming pool for leisure, and a dedicated cinema room where he can enjoy films in utmost comfort. However, London constitutes only a single component of his overall real estate portfolio. In 2017, Simon acquired a magnificent property in Malibu, California, for $25 million. This oceanfront estate encompasses 1.63 acres and features 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and floor-to-ceiling glass windows that showcase stunning vistas of the Pacific Ocean. Outside, there is a plunge pool, hot tub, barbecue area, and a koi pond for tranquil moments of contemplation. When Simon seeks a genuine respite from the pressures of his entertainment, music, empire, he retreats to his seaside estate in Barbados. This Caribbean sanctuary provides exclusive access to a private beach and the level of seclusion that wealth can afford, although fame frequently hinders such privacy. Then there is the automobile collection. Simon Cowell has invested more than $10 million in curating an automotive collection that would evoke envy in any enthusiast. His Rolls-Royce Phantom, uniquely finished in jet black, is valued at approximately $500,000 and continues to be among the most esteemed vehicles on the road. The interior showcases leather and wood accents that exemplify true luxury. His Ferrari 458, acquired in 2012 for approximately $200,000, exemplifies the pinnacle of Italian engineering. The Lamborghini Gallardo Spider in his garage is equipped with a 513 horsepower engine, music, and has an approximate value of $22,000. There is also a Bentley Arnage that cost him $230,000, in addition to an Aston Martin DB9, a Ferrari 360, and a vintage Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 3. Perhaps the most remarkable vehicle Simon ever possessed was his Bugatti Veyron, a hypercar that exemplified the utmost achievement in automotive engineering. In 2014, he auctioned it for $1.25 million and contributed the proceeds to a charitable organization. Even Simon's automobile sales positively impact others. His holidays correspond to the opulence of his belongings. Simon frequently charters luxury super yachts along the French Riviera and across the Caribbean, especially around his cherished Barbados. These floating palaces have an estimated weekly cost of approximately $450,000 and are furnished with helipads, swimming pools, hot tubs, and suites comparable to 5-star hotels. When he is not on the water, Simon visits luxurious European spa resorts, where a single night can amount to $25,000. These yearly excursions have become a cherished occasion for him to spend quality time with his family, serving as an opportunity to rejuvenate before resuming his public duties. His wardrobe demonstrates an equally meticulous regard for quality. Simon allocates an annual expenditure exceeding $500,000 on bespoke suits from designers such as Bottega Veneta and Tom Ford. His signature style comprises numerous bespoke black jackets, each valued at $10,000 or more. The aviator sunglasses, which he is seldom observed without, originate from prestigious brands such as Cartier and Bulgari. Gourmet dining represents another form of indulgence. Simon regularly visits Michelin-starred restaurants in London and Los Angeles, where degustation menus include beluga caviar, white truffles, and imported Japanese Wagyu beef. These meals are complemented by rare champagne vintages, and the final bill frequently surpasses $10,000 per occasion. However, no amount of money could procure for Simon what he desired most, and the account of how he discovered it would almost cost him everything. Despite his considerable professional achievements, Simon Cowell's personal life has been markedly more complex. The account of how he encountered his wife, Lauren Silverman, resembles a tabloid headline, as for many years, that is precisely what it was. Simon and Lauren initially encountered each other in 2004 at the Sandy Lane Resort in Barbados. At that time, both individuals were accompanied by other persons. Lauren was married to Andrew Silverman, a prominent real estate developer based in New York. Their encounter was seemingly harmless. However, an incident occurred that would ultimately escalate into a scandal. The two did not officially commence their relationship until 2009, and for several years, their association remained comparatively discreet. Then, in 2013, all aspects of music experienced a significant surge. Andrew Silverman learned that Lauren was expecting a child, and that the child was not his, but Simon's. The divorce filing garnered international media attention. Andrew, music, cited adultery as the basis for terminating his marriage. And abruptly, Simon Cowell, the individual who had dedicated years to evaluating others on television, found himself subjected to judgment by the entire world. The tabloids extensively covered the story. Commentators raised concerns regarding his character. It was the type of scandal that can ruin careers, but Simon managed it in the same manner as he approaches all other situations. He advanced. The divorce was resolved through an out-of-court settlement, thereby preventing Simon from experiencing the embarrassment of testifying publicly regarding the affair. On February 14, 2014, Valentine's Day, Lauren gave birth to their son, Eric. Fatherhood transformed Simon Cowell in ways that astonished all who knew him. The individual renowned for his severe critique and stern demeanor exhibited a noticeable softening when it concerned his son. He has candidly discussed how Eric reshaped his priorities and provided him with a renewed outlook on life. Simon perceives reflections of his younger self in Eric: the adventurous spirit, the unwavering determination, and the steadfast refusal to retreat from challenges. He has conveyed his hope that Eric may someday assume control of the business empire he has established, though he diligently allows his son to pursue his own trajectory. The family also comprises Adam, Lauren's son from her marriage to Andrew Silverman. Simon assumed the role of stepfather, and, by all accounts, the blended family operates harmoniously despite its unconventional beginnings. What initially emerged as a scandal ultimately evolved into stability. Simon and Lauren ultimately married, transforming a relationship initially marked by controversy into a lasting union. The individual who had long evaded commitment had ultimately discovered a pursuit deserving of dedication. Simon Cowell's influence on the entertainment industry extends well beyond the artists he has discovered and the programs he has developed. He fundamentally transformed the manner in which talent competitions are conducted and reshaped audience expectations for reality television. Prior to Simon, judges were anticipated to be motivating and supportive. Following Simon, authenticity emerged as the benchmark. However, his legacy extends beyond his accomplishments in business. Despite his formidable public image, Simon has exhibited a sincere dedication to philanthropic endeavors. He has been a long-standing supporter of organizations such as Children in Need and Comic Relief, both of which are committed to enhancing the lives of underprivileged youth. His contributions have supplied resources to children involved in music who are confronting challenging circumstances worldwide. His enthusiasm for animals demonstrates an additional facet of his character. Simon actively endorses PETA and the RSPCA, promoting the ethical treatment of animals. He presently resides with 4 dogs named Squidley, Diddley, Freddy, and Daisy, and by all accounts, he regards them as members of his family. He has contributed substantial funds to combat animal cruelty worldwide. The controversies that have accompanied Simon throughout his career also warrant recognition. His judging style has been subject to criticism from individuals who contend that his stern remarks impose an emotional burden on contestants who are merely striving to achieve their aspirations. Several former participants have discussed the psychological effects of experiencing public rejection on such a prominent platform. There have also been allegations that his production companies exploited contestants for financial gain, placing profits above the well-being of the artists who participated in his shows. These allegations have never impeded his career, yet they continue to be a component of the discourse regarding his legacy. On a personal level, Simon has acknowledged experiencing periods of depressive moods and self-criticism throughout his life. He has consistently maintained a candid and forthright manner, including with himself. Accounts from his childhood indicate that this music trait manifested at an early age. At the age of 4, he reportedly remarked to his mother that her pillbox hat resembled that of a poodle. The unvarnished honesty was present from the outset. His idiosyncrasies contribute to the distinctiveness of his public persona. Simon is reportedly highly meticulous about cleanliness, taking approximately 3 baths per day in addition to several steam treatments. He possesses over 30 black t-shirts from the same brand and has developed a comprehensive aesthetic centered on his distinctive style. The honors and awards are demonstrative of their excellence. In 2008, the Daily Telegraph recognized him as one of the 100 most influential figures in British culture. Time magazine featured him on their list of the 100 most influential people in the world music in both 2004 and 2010. He was honored with a BAFTA Special Award in recognition of his contributions to the entertainment industry. In 2018, he was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. From a mailroom in London to estates across 3 continents, from entrepreneurial setbacks to a $550 million enterprise, and from scandal to family man, Simon Cowell's journey resists straightforward classification. He has been both a villain and a visionary, a critic and a creator, a ruthless businessman, and a dedicated father. Whether loved or despised, his impact on contemporary entertainment remains indisputable. At 65 years of age, Simon Cowell exhibits no indications of reducing his pace. The subsequent chapter of his narrative remains in the process of being composed. Which aspect of Simon Cowell's journey surprised you the most? Was it the scandal that almost caused his downfall, or the transformation that fatherhood instigated? Please inform me in the comments below. If you found this in-depth exploration of one of the most controversial figures in entertainment engaging, please ensure to like this video and subscribe for additional stories of achievement, controversy, and all that lies in between.